Hi, Victor. Hello, Victor. How are you?
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Ah, espérame, estoy terminando de configurar esto que ya ve. Ahí
What's the
está.
problem?
Como lo conecto en la compu y en el cel, entonces ahí
Yeah, that's
estoy
why I
viendo.
see I see two Victors here.
Ya.
There's only one, right?
Ya.
Okay, okay. But yeah, tell me, how are you?
I'm fine.
All right, all right. I'm glad to hear that. That's great. What about your holidays? Did you go to the celebration?
¿Cómo?
Did you go to the Independence Day celebration?
No.
Didn't.
Ay, ¿cómo sería? No, yo pasar en mi casita, aquí no hice nada ya. Nah,
Okay.
nah.
But you had Thursday and Friday off.
What?
You had Thursday and Friday off. Free.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That's awesome. So you had time to rest and stay home and sleep.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Only in my bed.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's the best thing you can do. When you are working too much, you feel tired, so you have to rest. That's great for you. What about Saul? Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine.
All right, all right. I'm happy to hear that. It's great. What about
Yeah.
you? What did you do on your holidays?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Only was in my house.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. That's great. You had some time to rest, I imagine. That's awesome. You didn't go to the celebration.
No.
You don't like that.
Well, I don't wanna. I no, sorry. I don't want to out of my house. I don't know. Only want to was in my house.
Okay. That's great.
Mhm.
That's awesome. Right. What about Rosa? Good evening.
Good evening, teacher.
How are you?
Hello. Fine, and you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. And I'm glad to hear that you're good too.
I'm sorry I haven't be able to connect.
Yeah, I see that. It's like you didn't connect last week, I guess.
See, sorry.
Okay, yeah, don't worry. The good thing is that you are here today and that you continue.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome. Let's see. Alejandro, good evening.
Good evening, teacher.
How's it going?
I feel just a little bit tired.
You're tired.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess that you always tell me that you're tired, aren't you?
it's the Monday. I don't
Ah,
like the Mondays.
that's true. I guess no one likes Mondays.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, but what about your weekend and your days off on Thursday and Friday? What did you do?
No, I worked the Friday.
You worked on
Cause
Friday.
yeah,
Okay.
and the weekend is great.
Okay. And you also worked on Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, but they were supposed to be holidays. But
I don't know.
yeah, you wanted to work or you have to?
The Thursday, I don't work. Just the
Okay,
Friday.
just on Friday. All
Yeah.
right, all right. At least you have one day. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome everyone, thanks for joining. Just to remember the progress that we are getting closer to. So far, we have reached Unit 3. And we have studied, last class, we looked at the present continuous and the be going to talk about the future. So we're just missing 2 more classes and we would be reaching Unit 4. So most likely, most of you should be around Unit 3, okay? Getting closer to Unit 4. This is the progress we should have so far. And we looked at the present continuous for future arrangements, and now we're going to be studying some modal verbs that we're going to be looking at. So let's try to get started. We're going to be looking at these modal verbs that we use for requests. Let's see. Saul, do you know what is a request?
Request.
You know the meaning?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Let's see. What about Victor? Do you know the meaning of request?
No.
All right. All right. Let's see then. What about Alejandro? Do you know?
I just think it's like ask a question.
Okay. Ask something. It could be a question or anything. Ask for something. Exactly. A request is when you ask for something to someone. You can ask for help. You can ask for permission. You can ask for anything. Una petición. That is a request. Okay. Let's see. We have here also Abigail. Good evening.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
All right. Glad to hear that. That's great. How was your weekend?
Very tranquilo.
Quiet, you can say.
Yes,
I would-
quiet.
Quiet or calm. You can use the 2 words, quiet or calm. Yeah. So that's great. That's great. Welcome. So we're going to be talking about requests. Okay. We're going to be studying the different modal verbs that we can use to talk about requests or to ask for requests. Vamos a estar viendo los diferentes, no todos, ¿verdad? Pero los verbos modales más comunes a la hora de realizar peticiones. We have different modal verbs. Los verbos modales son todos aquellos que utilizamos para diferentes propósitos. En inglés es mucho más sencillo todo, ya que para los tiempos verbales, para las diferentes construcciones gramaticales, tenemos verbos auxiliares o verbos modales. So we have modal verbs like should, we have could, we have would, we also have oughta, we have must, we have also, let's see, had better, may, might, can, all those are modal verbs. Es una lista de los más comunes, ¿verdad? Hay más, pero estos son casi la mayoría. Should, could, would, oughta, must, had better, may, might, can. Y por lo general ocupamos todos estos verbos modales para realizar peticiones, sugerencias, pedir permiso, dar consejo, y en fin, hay muchos propósitos. We're going to be studying the modal verbs that we can use this time to ask for requests. Let's begin. Let's have Let's see. Alejandro, would you help me reading these examples?
Okay. Would you please write clearly? Could you work with a partner on exercise 4?
Okay. Would you please write clearly? Does that, Alejandro, does that sound formal or informal?
Formal?
Formal, right? What about the second one? Could you work with a partner on exercise 4?
I think it's formal.
Yeah, it's formal too. So we use these modal verbs, at least in the case of would and could, to ask requests in a polite way. Utilizamos estos verbos modales, a menos en el caso de would y could, para realizar peticiones y hacerlo de una manera formal. Would you please write clearly? ¿Podrías, por favor, escribir de una manera más clara? Escribir mejor. Could you work with a partner on exercise 4? ¿Podrías trabajar con un compañero en el ejercicio 4? CC, podrías, me ayudarías, harías esto por mí. Esa condición, haría, podría. We use modal verbs. Ocupamos los verbos modales. En el caso de could or would. So you see, these ones are requests. Son peticiones. Would you write clearly? You do it in a polite way. Se hace de manera educada. Could you work with a partner? It's not the same if someone tells you, write clearly, or please write clearly. Es una orden directa, ¿verdad? Write clearly. Escribe más claramente. Work with a partner or exercise 4. No es lo mismo, ¿verdad? Eso ya es una orden, es una... Okay. Exactamente, una orden directa, ya no es una petición. So to make requests, we make use of modal verbs that help us make things sound more formal. We have some other modal verbs. Let's this one. Who's going to help me? Rosa, would you help me reading these examples?
Sorry?
Can you help me read these examples
Okay.
here?
No, I am sorry. I don't accept late homework. Could you accept my homework late? My dog ate it.
Okay. It's a formal request. Would you accept my homework late? My dog ate it. Aceptaría mi tarea poco tarde. Mi perro se la comió. Doesn't happen, but it's an excuse. But you do it in a polite way, pero se hace de manera formal, educada. Por eso ocupamos would. No es lo mismo solamente decir, accept my homework late. Eso es una orden. Right? You need to make it polite. Would you accept? That sounds polite. She says, I'm sorry, I don't accept late homework. We have some other examples of requests. Let's say this time, Saul, would you help me reading these ones?
And more requests. Would you mind looking over my assessment? I'm not sure it's right. And could I lead class 10 minutes early today?
Okay. Those are requests. Petición. Would you mind looking over my assignment? I'm not sure it's right. ¿Te importaría? Okay. Would you mind? En el caso de would you mind, es una expresión que utilizamos para preguntar. ¿Te importaría? ¿Te molestaría? Okay. So, would you mind looking over my assignment? That is mind. Para eso ocupamos mind. Por ejemplo, alguien derrama café o alguna bebida sobre su ropa, and you can say, I don't mind. Lo podemos ocupar en esas situaciones. I don't mind. No te preocupes, no pasa nada. Oh, no hay problema. Okay, no me afecta. I don't mind. Would you mind? Por lo general, su ocupo preguntas a mí. Would you mind sharing money with a stranger? Okay. Would you mind sharing money with a stranger? ¿Te importaría compartir tu dinero con un extraño? Would you mind? ¿O te molestaría? You can say, no, I wouldn't mind. Entonces, por eso ocupamos would, para todas estas condiciones, para todas estas suposiciones. Would you mind? ¿Importaría? ¿Te molestaría? No, I wouldn't mind. No, no me molestaría, no me importaría. And the same here. Could I leave the class 10 minutes early today? It's not the same if you ask, can I leave the class 10 minutes early today? No es lo mismo utilizar can para estas preguntas que could. Could es mucho más formal. Y recordemos que could es solo la forma en pasado de can. So, can I leave the class 10 minutes early today? Could I leave? Not the same. Let's look at some other ones that we can use to talk about requests. Let's see, Abigail, would you help me reading these ones?
And even more request. Can I borrow your eraser for a moment? Will you let me copy your homework? Sure. No.
Okay. That's it, right? Requests. También ocupamos can y will para peticiones. Can I borrow your eraser for a moment? Puedo tomar prestado tu borrador por un momento. Will you let me copy your homework? ¿Me dejarías copiar tu tarea? ¿Me dejas copiar tu tarea? Okay. We need to make the difference between borrow and lend. Esos son verbos que por lo general se confunden bastante. Borrow y lend. Okay. Borrow no es prestar algo, es pedir prestado. Lend sí es prestar. For example, I borrowed $1,000. I borrowed $1,000. Okay. Pedí prestado $1,000. So that is borrow. No es prestar algo a alguien. Pedir prestado. I borrowed $1,000. My brother lent me $1,000. Y ahora lend sí es prestar. My brother lent me $1,000. Mi hermano me prestó $1,000. Okay, so that's why you ask, can I borrow your bag? Can I borrow your bag? Puedo tomar prestada tu bolsa o tu bolso. Can I borrow your bag? And someone can answer, yes, I can lend it to you. Sí, te la puedo prestar. So that's the difference. Borrow es tomar prestado. Utilizamos, obviamente, con la mayor parte del tiempo con el pronombre I, because you do the action. And lend is when you give the money or something. Is there any question related to borrow and lend? Do you have any questions?
No, teacher.
All right. So that's it. Let's continue. Okay. Let's see this one. Victor, would you help me reading this slide?
formal request. Use could and would to make formal requests. Ask someone to do something cool, and will soften requests and make them more polite. Could you work exercise 4?
Okay. And something that we need to pay attention to is the base form of the verb. Siempre que utilizamos estos verbos modales, los verbos van en su forma base, es decir, como work. No agregamos ni infinitivos ni gerundios como to work or working. No, right? All the time when you have modal verbs like could, would, may, might, we don't use infinitives or gerunds, only the base form. It says here that they soften requests. Suavizan las peticiones y las vuelven más formales. That is what these modal verbs do. The same happens with can. These are more informal requests. Let's see. It's going to help me. Alejandro, would you help me reading this slide?
Use can and will for less formal request. Can I borrow your eraser? Sure.
Okay. Again, the base form of the verb. Whenever you have modal verbs, we cannot say, can I to borrow or can I borrow it? Can I borrow? The base form of the verb. You should go. Okay. I would like. Okay, so the base form of the verb. So this one. Let's continue with Rosa. Would you help me reading this slide?
Repeat, please.
Yeah, can you help me read the slides? Just
No
to read it. Read.
Leer.
Yeah.
When he say yes to a request, we usually use expressions such as sure, certainly, of course, and no problem.
Okay. For example.
Could you help me read this? Of course, I will help you.
Okay. So saying yes to request. Aquí tenemos la petición. Would you help me read this? Me ayudarías a leer esto. And you can use expressions like sure, certainly, of course, and no problem. Would you help me read this? Sure. Would you help me read this? Of course. Would you help me read this? No problem. I will do it. And so on. You can use also those expressions, right? Let's look at these ones. Let's see. It's going to help me this time. Laura, would you help me with this one? You're Laura Abigail. At the beginning, instead of Abigail, now Laura. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Negative answers to request. When we cannot say yes to a request, we usually apologize and give an explanation. Will you accept my homework late? No, I'm sorry, I can't. I don't accept late homework.
Okay. So you have the two versions, right? What she thinks and what she actually says. Cuando decimos que no a una petición, tenemos que ser siempre educados, formales y dar una explicación de por qué. No solamente decir que no y ya. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't accept late homework. That's the same, right? She always says no, but with a more polite way. Okay, So we have this ones, right? We have some short practice right here that we're going to use. It says, imagine you are in these situations. Make polite requests. Would you mind? For example, with would you mind? Then think of possible replies. And you have one example. You're talking to your English teacher. Would you mind explaining a grammar rule to me? Not at all. How can I help you? Dice que imaginen que están en estas situaciones y les pide que hagan peticiones formales utilizando would you mind. Would you mind es te importaría, te molestaría. Y que luego piensen en posibles respuestas. Okay? And you have one example. You are talking to your English teacher. Estás hablando con tu profesor de inglés. And you have the script. Would you mind explaining a grammar rule to me? ¿Te molestaría explicarme una regla gramatical? Not at all. How can I help you? Okay. So we're going to try to practice this by making role plays, by trying to make dialogues. We're going to try to role play the situations. Vamos a tratar de simular las situaciones para tener un poco de práctica utilizando would you mind o los demás verbos modales que hemos visto como could, would, okay, can. You have 4 situations right here. We're going to role play them. We're going to break our rooms in groups of, in pairs, sorry, 2 people, and you're going to role play the situation. For example, number 1 says, you're talking to your boss. So one is going to be the boss, and the other one is going to be the employee. And you're going to create a conversation, right? You're going to practice, going to make a dialogue. One is going to make the request, the other one is going to accept it or decline it. Okay. Vamos a hacer esta práctica así corta. Vamos a ir a los breakout rooms en parejas. Tienen las 4 situaciones. La idea es que hagan un role play, juego de roles. Por ejemplo, la primera situación habla de que está hablando con el jefe. Alguien puede ser el jefe y el otro el empleado y crear una petición. ¿Qué le pedirían a su jefe? Y ya el jefe decide si acepta o la rechaza. You have another one right here, number 2. You want your coworker to help you. Quieres que tu compañero te ayude. Then number 3, you want your children to clean up their rooms. So you role play the situations. You want your wife or husband to help you cook dinner. And you can talk about them, role play the situations, and try to use the expressions, right? Formal expressions like would to ask for requests. Is it clear, or do you have any questions on what we're going to do? Is there any question, or the activity is clear?
Clear.
Yeah, Saul?
It's clear.
Okay. So let us go ahead. I'm going to be sending you to breakout rooms, and I want you to practice to role play situations or to make up the scenarios, but I want you to practice the use of the modal verbs. Just give me 1 second. Let's see. All right, there you go.
grammar rule to me. Que le preguntemos como al profesor, ¿verdad? Y de ahí el otro tiene que contestar, ¿no? How I can help you. For example, in the first says, you are talking to your boss. Estamos hablando con el jefe, ¿verdad? ¿Qué le preguntarías? Would you mind?
Yes. If you want, the first one, bueno, the number one and the number two, I going to do the questions. Maybe the request, and you going to answer. And number three and number four, you submit the request, and I'm going to answer.
Okay.
Okay. The first scenario, you are talking to your boss.
Okay.
Okay, you are
I
my
asked, sorry.
you are my boss, maybe.
Yeah.
Would you please let me go early today?
Would you please?
Let me go.
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. The number two is you want.
Uy, ¿qué pasó?
Sí, entonces sería con el primero de
Ajá, el último.
Would you mind talking to your boss to give me a day off in the weekend?
Sí. Y de ahí sería el...
Ahí tendría que responder, digamos, si sí o no, porque también el no digo que podíamos poner como no, sorry, I can't, a modo de como disculparse, ¿verdad?
Ajá,
Decir no.
siempre disculpándose, ¿verdad?
Ajá. No, I can't talk to him.
Sí, y podemos hacer el do you want, que es coworker.
Es como, o sea, que trabaja, como que estuviéramos en el laboratorio
Ah,
y estamos en la misma área y me tiene que ayudar o yo ayudarle.
ok.
Ah,
Ah,
compañero de trabajo, digamos.
ajá. Ah, entonces, would you want your coworker to help you? The English le vamos a poner.
Que, sería, quiero ver, según ahí, podría ser, would you mind to help me to the English lesson?
Ajá, cabal.
Sí, ahorita sí, más que necesario.
Ya se va poniendo más difícil.
Would you mind explaining the lesson?
Ajá,
Would you mind? Y ahí podría decir, of course, I explain you. Sure, I can explain. Or no, sorry, I can explain you. I don't understand.
ajá, ajá, sí, así, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Y está el you want your wife just want to help you cook dinner. Así es. Hold you mind want your wife just want to help you cook dinner.
Es como preguntarle si le puede ayudar con la cena, ¿verdad?
Ajá, ajá. Al esposo.
would you mind cook the eggs, algo así, o y ahí le puede decir, of course,
Ajá.
oh no, sorry, I can't.
Ajá, claro, ajá. Are you studying English, love?
I can cook.
Ajá.
Se me quema el agua.
Cabal. Sí. Me voy a arruinar las uñas, love.
With this, maybe, nunca le pido ayuda a mi jefe. A ver, ¿con qué diablos? Ah, bueno, esto. Would you mind to help me with this computer?
Yes, of course. How can I help you?
Well, I need to find archivo. Well, the next is when would your coworker care to help you? Hey, would you mind? Would you mind to borrow me $5?
Not at all. I can't.
Why?
I don't have.
Okay. Okay, te toca preguntar la última vez.
Okay. Mm, You want your children to clean up their room. Would you mind clean up the children's room?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Okay. And number 4, would you mind helping in the cook dinner?
Why not?
Okay, welcome back again. So that was just a short practice on the different modal verbs that you can use to ask for requests. Okay. Just one thing that I was able to notice in most of the conversation is that let me start sharing. Just give me one sec. One of the things that I was able to notice is this one. Precisely in the use of would you mind, we need to pay attention to the verb form that we're going to use. It's this one. Let's have, Saul, would you help me reading this slide?
Would you mind? Use would you mind plus journal to make polite requests. Example, would you mind opening the door for me?
Okay.
Gerund is equal away for plus ing.
Exactly. That's one of the things that I was able to notice in most of your conversation, right? Or your dialogues or role plays that you had. In all of these cases, we need to use a gerund, okay? A verb plus ing form. You're talking to your boss, number one. Would you mind giving me a day off? ¿Podría darme un día libre? Jefe, ¿verdad? Jefe. Would you mind helping me? ¿Te importaría ayudarme? Would you mind, what else? Raising my salary, one example. So all of the verbs that you use after mind have to be in the gerund form. Like the second one, you want your coworker to help you. Would you mind helping me? Not would you mind help me? All right. We use the gerund form. We don't say, would you mind help me? We say, would you mind helping? The next one, you want your children to clean up the rooms. So you talk to your children. Would you mind cleaning your rooms? ¿Se importaría limpiar sus cuartos? Cleaning, ing. Would you mind? After mind, we always have gerunds. Would you mind cleaning your rooms? The number 4 says, you want your wife or husband to help you cook dinner. Would you mind helping me to cook dinner? Or would you mind cooking with me? So we use ing forms, or in this case, gerunds. Like here, would you mind opening the door? So we don't say, would you mind open? Would you mind go? No. Would you mind opening? Would you mind going? Okay. That's it. And let's continue with some other examples right here. Alejandro, would you help me read this one?
Okay, teacher. Be careful. When we answer this type of request with not at all, it means that we will do what the person requests. Would you mind looking over my assignment? I don't mind at all. Not all? Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, básicamente la expresión not at all es afirmativa, ¿verdad? A pesar de que empieza con not. No significa no, significa por supuesto. Ok, o como la pregunta es, would you mind? ¿Te importaría o te molestaría? Would you mind looking over my assignment? ¿Podría echarle un vistazo a mi tarea? Okay. So you have one possibility. I don't mind at all. At all significa absolutamente o en absoluto. I don't mind, explicamos al inicio, no me molesta o no me importa. No es un problema. I don't mind at all is like, no me molesta en lo absoluto. At all. Okay. Would you mind looking over my assignment? ¿Te importaría revisar mi tarea? Not at all. Para nada. Okay. Para nada. That's the meaning of not at all. Okay. Are there any questions so far? Is it clear what at all means or not at all? Do you have any questions? All right. Questions or doubts? Saul?
For example, would you like to mine? I don't remember. Would you like mine?
Would you mind?
Would you mind if no formal
Yeah, it is formal.
informal?
It's formal, very formal. Yeah, es muy formal, ¿verdad?
What is the difference with this? For example, would you like? No.
Would you like?
Yeah, the difference is obvious.
Okay, now you see, right? Yeah. En este caso como like. Es otra forma de para would, ¿verdad? Would you mind? ¿Te importaría? Would you like? ¿Te gustaría? Son cosas diferentes. Pero por lo general para eso ocupamos would, para darle ese tiempo, ¿verdad? Es decir, algo, una posibilidad futura. Would you like to go to the beach? Would you like to visit another country? ¿Te gustaría ir a otro país? ¿Te gustaría I don't know, ir a la playa. Okay, future possibility. And this is another of the uses that we have for would when we want to talk about invitations, pues se ocupa para invitaciones o para posibilidad futura. Let's see this one. Let's have Laura. Would you help me reading this slide?
Would you like to go to a party?
Okay.
Accepting, sounds good. Yes, I love to. Refusing, no thanks. No, sorry, I like to go shopping.
So that is an invitation. Ocupamos would también para invitaciones. ¿no? Would you like to go to the party? ¿Te gustaría ir a la fiesta? Would you like? If you can accept it, sounds good. I'd love to. Remember that the contraction of I would is I'd. We have this contraction right there. And it's the same as I would. Es the contracted form. Contracción de I would o de, en general de would es el apóstrofe con la D. I would, I'd, she'd, he'd. So, yes, right? Would you like to go to a party? No lo ocupamos nada más para peticiones, sino también para invitaciones. And we have some other like expressions that we can use when you want to invite someone. Hay muchas otras expresiones que podemos utilizar cuando queremos invitar a alguien. La diferencia, el nivel de formalidad, por ejemplo. Do you want to go to? Eso es algo bastante promedio. Puede preguntárselo a cualquier amigo. Do you want to go to? ¿Quieres ir a? Want to come over for? Es informal. Hey, ¿te gustaría que nos reuniéramos para tal cosa? Want to come over for? It's informal. Es más formal. How about coming over for? Eso ya es más formal. ¿Y qué hay de reunirnos en tal parte? La invitación también. Are you free on? Una fecha en específico. It is not so formal. But then you have more formal expressions like, would you like to play? That is formal. ¿Te gustaría jugar? Would you like to come to algún lugar? ¿Te gustaría ir a tal lugar? So those are more formal. That's why we use would. Pueden ver una gran diferencia entre las primeras y las que ya utilizamos would. All right. Do you have any questions or any doubts related to the topic? ¿Hay dudas, preguntas relacionadas al tema del uso de would o de could?
Hice una duda, teacher.
¿Ya?
¿Cómo saber cuál utilizar? Si would o could o es válido cualquiera de los dos?
Por lo general, could es una petición, ¿verdad? No es como would, puede ser una invitación o una propuesta, pero could hablas más que todo de posibilidades, como could you help me? ¿Me podrías ayudar? Ok. Could you lend me $10? ¿Me podrías prestar? Eso más que todo could es para capacidad de algo. Recordamos que could es el pasado de can, es el pasado del verbo can. Entonces, funciona igual, hablamos de para pedir permisos, hablar de habilidades. Okay. Like, for example, could you give me a day off? We use could. Pero sí, de manera general, cuando se trata de hacer peticiones, son bastante similares. Pero ¿cuál diría, Alejandro, que es la diferencia entre would you like to come or could you like to come? Or could you come, me bien dicho. Would you like to come or could you come? Is there a difference or is the same? Alejandro?
Siento como un poco más de diferencia.
It's different, right? Would you come or would you like to come? Es una invitación. But if you say, could you come? Es una pregunta. Está preguntando por su disponibilidad. Entonces esa es la diferencia. Could you help me? ¿Podrías ayudarme? Para que la persona esté ocupada. Okay. What? Basically that. Okay. Any other question? Right. We're going to continue with a similar topic next class. I encourage you to practice in the platform too. Do you have exercises about would in there? So try to practice in the platform too. In the meantime, this is going to be today's class. Thanks for joining, everyone. I appreciate it, and have a great night. And we're going to continue tomorrow.
Okay, teacher. Good
Right.
night.
Good night, Alejandro.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Thank
See you
you.
tomorrow.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.